So guys, let's solve this problem. We will read some value from the keyboard to our variable n. Let it be 5. Then, if we read 5, it means that we will read 5 numbers from the keyboard. Then we must print out the first number, the middle number, and the last number. The first number will be the number that we read at the first place, and then the middle number will be the number at position n divided by 2 plus 1. Since n is 5 and it is integer, if you divide it by 2, you get 2, because n is integer. And 2 plus 1 will give you 3. But this is only when n is odd number, like 5, 3, or 7. What if n is even number? It means that we have 2 values in the middle. So the first middle number will be at position 3 in our case, which is n divided by 2, and the second middle number will be at position 4, which will be n divided by 2 plus 1. And then finally we will print out the last number, which will be at position n. Now let's solve the problem. First of all, I'm going to declare variable n, which is of type integer. Then I will read it using cn command. And now we will repeat a loop n times. So let's create a loop for int I is equal to 1, while I is smaller or equal to n, I plus plus. We created a loop that will start from 1 and continue until I is equal to n. And every time in the loop, we will increase the value of I by 1. Then I will read another variable, x. And every time in the loop, I will read my variable x. And then, depending on n, if n is even number, so we get an even number by writing n modulus 2 is equal to 0. This means if n is even number. So if n is even number, we have 2 middle numbers, but if it's not, it means that n is odd, then we have only 1 middle number. But in any case, we have only one first number. That's why we say if I is equal to 1, if it's our first iteration, we'll just print out x. And after printing it out, let's leave a space. Then I want to also check if I is equal to n, which means if it is the last iteration of the loop. So if it's the last iteration of the loop, then I'll print out x. So now let's come to this. So as you remember from here, if n is odd number, the first middle number will be at position n divided by 2 if we start from 1, and the second middle number will be at position n divided by 2 plus 1. So if n is even, check if n is equal to, if I is equal to n divided by 2, then we will print out the number that we have read, and also we will check if I is equal to n divided by 2 plus 1, and in that case also we will print out the value of the number x that we have read. But if n is odd number, then we will print the number at position n divided by 2 plus 1 if we start from 1. So here I will check if I is equal to n divided by 2 plus 1. So if it is, we will print the value of the number x that I have read. Now let's run the program. Assuming that I have 5 numbers, let's read the numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And you see it printed the first, the middle, and the last number. But what if we have 6 or 8 numbers? Let's say we have 6 numbers and let them be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So in this case, we will have 2 middle numbers and they are this. That's all.